All right, all right. How's everybody doing? Welcome, welcome. What's going on to our kind coronavirus update? I'm Dr. Duckbug. I'm a world famous bariatric surgeon, author of 13 books. Hope you are well. This is my coronavirus series where I'm going to give you some real talk about coronavirus. No fluff, no hype, and we're going to keep it cool and we're going to keep it nice. So if you're a troll, you can go away. If you think it's political, you can take your politics elsewhere. We're going to give you some good information. You might know me from when I did the YouTube video called How Coronavirus Kills You. Excuse me, my allergies are acting up. And that got 16 million views. And I stopped doing them because the haters were really starting to hate and get to me. So I decided to chill out, but now we're back because this coronavirus thing is way out of control. And I felt like I have a voice and a platform. So I wanted to come back and see if we can make a difference. Now, the rules here is that you got to be cool. You got to be nice. You can't be nasty. You can't be a troll. Otherwise, you'll get blocked. That's kind of the rules. So we got people from all over the world. While we're waiting for people, just tell me where you're calling from. Dorada is in UK. If you're watching this on the replay, you can fast forward to about the 5-minute mark, 3-minute mark. I will get started from that. So good morning, Kate Aarons. Good morning, Tabitha from Fort Worth. I'm gonna be driving through there. Doreen is up late from Australia. Awesome. Thank you. Already posted. Thank you so much, Jamila. Good morning. How are you guys? Ooh, Singapore. Singapore's in the house. How cool. So we are really a global community. We're going to talk about COVID, and we're going to keep it really nice and calm and cool. No cussing. I'm going to try really hard. No cussing today. I'm going to try. Evan, appreciate your how current. Thank you. Stay safe, Georgia there, man. That's tough. Audrey. So the YouTubers are watching. Cheryl, love you in Chicago. Thank you, Cheryl. Appreciate you. Patty's in New York. Man, New York's done it right. Jennifer, New York City's done it right. The rest of the country needs to wake up, man. Atomic Space Bunny, what's up? I'm currently in Albuquerque. Converse, Texas. I remember that. I'm from Longview. There was a fly. Did y'all see that fly land on my head? Thank you guys for sharing. Appreciate that. What's Friesland? Oh, how cool. Pam Cam, Kansas City, Missouri's watching. James Smith running from Corona on an RV trip. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing a camping trip. So do me a favor, just hit share real quick. Let's get more people in here. Julie Allard from Connecticut. Gab C, your videos in March helped me understand COVID early on. Thank you. We're back to doing it. This is our new COVID community. We're all kind here. We are woke up. We are ready to learn. No conspiracy theories, no a-holes, no deniers. It is what it is. We want to get together so we can get through this sooner. So appreciate that. Lori Crane, happy to be back. Just keep this cool, everybody. Billy Jensen, Northwest Colorado. And we got 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. Fuck yeah, Barbara, way to go. Love it. Michigan, be careful. Orlando, be very careful, Dad. A brother man right there. Be very careful. Florida's hot, hot, hot. All right, BC, British Columbia, awesome. Welcome. Trolls just roll on. COVID is everywhere. That is right. Ohio's in the house. Awesome. Hey, I'm in Albuquerque currently. New York did it right. Hey, Anna, miss you. Hope you're doing good. Sarah Sullins, Edna, welcome. Thank you guys for sharing so much. Bay Area, California. Thank you, Jilly. I love the Bay Area. It's beautiful there. I want to take when this clears out, I want to take Erica there. Jasmine, Louisiana's in trouble. Jasmine, stay safe, okay? New Orleans is going to flare up again. It's so funny. I said that a few days ago, and people were like, New Orleans? They thought they were good. And then Dr. Burke came out and called New Orleans amongst some other cities. Felicia, stay safe. Heather, Jody, all right, let's get started. Montana's in the house. I'm about to make a road trip up through Montana, Billings, for the first time. It's going to be good. Texas is not doing it right. You're totally right, Chris, Misty. Okay, let's get started. I'll take your questions at the end also. So get your questions ready. Thank you guys for sharing. I appreciate it. Man, we got 730 people on all over. Hold on just a second before I get started. Let me go to, I appreciate y'all watching. This means a lot. We're gonna get some really good information going. Hang tight. We're gonna talk about why coronavirus is gonna be worse here in a second in the fall. Who wants to know why? Yep. Okay. Excellent. Okay, let's roll. Hi guys, I'm Dr. Duck Vuong. I'm a world famous bariatric surgeon, author of 13 books. I serve the obesity community, and as we know, obesity is the #1 risk factor for poor outcomes with coronavirus. And how do we know that? Because we looked at it. ICU study looked at the patients that were in the ICU with coronavirus, and the vast majority of them were obese. Now, in that particular study, this was back in April, the obesity rate was only a BMI of 30, which is only about 40 pounds overweight. It's not super heavy, guys. It's not my 600-pound life. It's not like some TV show. It is a lot of Americans. So when I did the early coronavirus videos, you saw that I said that the age was going to decrease. Comment if you remember me saying that this was not a disease of old people. It's not 80-year-old smoking men like what you saw in China. It was actually, the age was going to decrease. And our Achilles heel was going to be obesity. Who remembers me saying that? So now, fast forward to today's July 25th. And in the United States, we have 4.1 million cases. No, it is due to testing, but that's not the problem. Problem is the positivity rate is way up. In Arizona, it's 1 in 4, 25% positivity rate. Florida got as high as 1 in 3 positivity rate. And the other thing you need to look out for is hospitalization rate. The hospitalization is going up too. So this is much more serious, and it goes beyond just testing. Today, I want to talk about why coronavirus is actually going to be worse before it gets better. All right. So I want to give you a few tips. Hit share for me. I appreciate that. #1 tip is this. We are just in the beginning, guys. I know you are tired. And I know you are tired and frustrated with the coronavirus. But I will tell you right now, coronavirus is not tired of you. The coronavirus is not frustrated with you. Can I have an amen? Coronavirus is not frustrated. The coronavirus is like the fucking Terminator. It does not get tired. It does not stop. Who remembers that movie, The Terminator, from the early 80s? The first one, the best one, when Reese was like, you know, he will not stop until you are dead. Coronavirus is unemotional. Coronavirus does not care about your politics, does not care if you're a red state or blue state, does not care if you're liberal or conservative, does not care about your religious preferences, does not care about your God. Trust me on that. Coronavirus will not stop, and it is not frustrated or tired. Okay. So #1 tip, you got to control your emotions, everybody. It's going to get worse. #2 tip is this. We are in the beginning. This is not the middle. And this is hell ain't the end. This is the beginning. Okay. The Spanish flu. How do I know? The Spanish flu epidemic from 1907, 08, and 09 lasted 3 years. 3 years. We are 6 months into this. And in the United States, we are still in the first fucking wave. We have not. I said I wasn't going to cuss. Look at me. We are still in the first wave. This is not the second wave. We never flattened the curve. We never got the curve back down to where it should be. So we are not anywhere near where we need to be. We are still in the first wave. Europe has returned back to normalcy. Canada is getting there, starting to open up slowly. Australia is being very proactive. They have gotten over the first wave. We have not. Americans have not. Okay. South Africans have not. Brazilians have not. Mexico not. We are still in the first wave. So this is the start. In baseball analogy terms, this is the first inning. This is early in the game. This is first quarter. So we have to Get prepared. Don't get frustrated. Don't give up. It's just the truth. Okay. See, people understand what I'm saying. Okay. It's first wave. That's right. And so a lot of people go, what was the point? What was the point of all that? It's of all shutting down. That's exactly my point. We Americans, because of our impatience, we opened up 3 weeks too early. We basically undid all of the isolation, shutting down the economy, everything that we tried to do back from March, April, May. And then beginning of May, they started to open up. We opened up before frickin' Italy. I mean, it's ridiculous. And in my early videos, you heard me say that Italy was 2 weeks ahead of us, and we opened up before them. And you're totally right. We should have stayed locked down. That's actually that's actually the problem. We opened up too soon. Okay, so control your emotions. This is the early part of the game. Okay, now let me talk about why this is going to get worse here in a second, in the fall. Okay, so number one reason why this is going to get worse in the fall. Okay, and it's not the second wave. I'm still talking about the first wave. Okay, number one, the temperature, and this one, a lot of y'all already understand. Okay, the coronavirus, we were expecting it to go away in the summer. It didn't. Wink, wink. This heat did not kill this coronavirus. Wink, wink. Right? So there's something funny, wink, wink, about this coronavirus. Okay, it's not, other coronaviruses don't behave this way, wink, wink. Other coronaviruses do not like the heat, wink, wink. This coronavirus, for whatever reason, is not going away with the heat. So, but what will happen this fall, this is why it's going to get worse, is we're going to fight coronavirus while we're also fighting the seasonal flu, the influenza. Okay. Problem is, people say the flu when they might mean the cold. They might mean there are different things. There are other coronaviruses that cause flu-like symptoms. But we're talking about influenza A, influenza B. Okay, that starts up again in late October, November, and we're going to be in the midst of this coronavirus outbreak. It's still going to be hot, right? We're still, if we're lucky. I mean, we're currently at 70,000 daily cases here in the United States. We'll be lucky if we're down. We'll be lucky if we're down to 30,000 cases if we cut it in half, and that's going to require us really rolling back and closing back down. So it's going to time with the influenza. You guys know that, which now means more people sick, more people out of work, more people huddled up. Now, why does the influenza come back during the fall? It's because it doesn't really like the heat, right? It kind of dies off. That's why the flu season is usually around November and ends in March. Now, a lot of that depends on what the caseloads are doing, and the infection experts kind of tell us doctors when we can end the flu season. So it's a moving range depending on what's happening with herd immunity and such. Okay, so one, the timing's bad. Okay. Two, we are not going to have a vaccine ready. I don't care what the people in the news are telling you. We will not have a vaccine ready by this fall. And if we did, Dr. V's show ain't taking it. Why not? Man, you do not know. If there's a vaccine out this fall, which there won't be, but if they try to push it, I won't take it because you don't know the long-term side effects, right? But we're not going to have a vaccine. That's the other problem. We don't really have good treatments. All right. So when this coronavirus, this heat goes away, it gets cooler. There's going to be a second wave up in New York. Watch me. Listen to me. Listen to me. There's going to be a second wave starting up in the Northeast when this cooler weather comes. Okay. People are going to huddle up, bundle up, and that's when you're going to see cases come back. All right. Because New York and those sort of places are starting to open up restaurants and things like that. And when that happens in the colder weather, you'll see the coronavirus cases come up. There's no treatment. Don't forget, this is novel coronavirus. It means new. So there'll be there's no treatment and there's no immunity, which takes me to reason number 3 why it's going to be worse in the fall. There is no herd immunity, unlike the flu. Okay, that we have a vaccine, we have herd immunity, but not for the coronavirus. Okay, number 4 reason why this is going to be worse. Now, this is stuff that your other people aren't telling you. I've been telling people in my challenge group about these reasons for 2 months. So there's a lot of people in my challenge group that are watching right now. I have a monthly weight loss challenge group that they're in, and I've been telling them and warning them about coronavirus for the last 2 months. And so comment right here if you're in my challenge and we've been talking about this. All right. So all right, so here's the stuff that you're not hearing on the news. Next number, whatever number we're on, number 5, I guess. Another reason why this is going to be worse this fall is we have a higher than predicted hurricane season. No one's telling you that. There is higher than predicted hurricane season coming up, okay? So normally we have about 10 hurricanes, 10 named storms during a hurricane season. Hurricane season is usually beginning of June 1st till the end of November, okay? And usually we have about 10 hurricanes named storms. And so far we've already had several. This season we had one of the earliest named storms. I think we're on Douglas. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We are already on seven named storms. So this season, hurricane season, is more active. So they're predicting about 20 named storms this season. Okay, we're on G, so we have 7 named storms already, and it's only been 2 months. Okay, we got to go all the way through November. Now, why is this a problem with coronavirus? Well, what happens when a hurricane happens to you? See, I lived in Houston during Hurricane Katrina and all those, when they were all hitting us back in 2005, 2006. And then I got hit in 2008 with Hurricane Ike, went right through Galveston. So what happens? Well, you have these mass evacuations. You got shelter in place. You got people who huddle up. You got families. Like I lived on the water, so I went to the north side of Houston, and we had 2 families staying together. I stayed with my buddy and his family. So you're going to have people huddling up. You're going to have convention centers opening up for people who don't have a place to go, homeless people, etc. So you're going to see that people are going to crowd into closed spaces, and that's going to cause the spread of coronavirus, but also the flu. And you're already seeing that. There was a typhoon that hit India earlier a couple months ago. You're having, and so we have Hurricane Douglas heading towards Hawaii right now. Luckily, the coronavirus numbers are low in Hawaii. We have a storm that's about to make landfall in the southern part of Texas right now. So you're going to have flooding, and you're going to have rescues. You're going to have these people, you're going to have water rescues. They're going to have to be masked up, PPEs, things like that. That's going to lead to transmission. That's going to, we're starting to lose first responders because they're sick. The police force are getting sick. And I'm not talking about the blue flu. I'm not talking about protesting things. I'm talking about they are literally coming down with coronavirus. We are already seeing healthcare providers get sick, nurses, doctors. So you're not going to have the staffing available to handle this. So higher than expected hurricane season, that's going to be a problem. Next number, number 6. Reason why this coronavirus is going to be worse in the fall. There's going to be, we think we're going to have a La Nina event this year. Most meteorologists think that. So La Nina is a storm system off the Pacific. It leads to what? What happens? It leads to massive forest fires. So you saw that earlier already in June when Arizona had a bunch of forest fires. they're starting to flare up again. You don't see it that much on the news because people are kind of used to forest fires now, but this will be a bad season for forest fires. So what happens with forest fires again? People evacuate their homes, they go to shelters, they're huddling up again, and that's going to lead to transmission of coronavirus. All right. Now with La Nina events, we also know what? Unpredictable storms. So you're going to have weather events too. You're going to have tornadoes. You're going to have flash flooding. So now you're going to have mudslides and all that sort of stuff. Dr. Vaughn, this sounds terrible. It's like, oh my God, this is horrible. No, I mean, this is what we call the perfect storm. Okay. And all of this is going to happen around September when the weather is cooling off. And so this coronavirus is going to get worse. Next number. And I'll do a separate one on number 7, but it's going to be with the return of college kids and school. So I want to break it up first to elementary school kids. Most parents, if they have an online option, they're starting to pick the online option. I get it. Some parents can't do that. They have to work, and so they're doing the best they can. I think if you're not in a hotspot area, you'll be okay to go back to school. I'll do a separate school one for you guys. But if you are in a hotspot area, like I currently live in Houston, even though I'm currently in Albuquerque, we were going to put our 4-year-old into pre-K, got super excited, got her enrolled in a good pre-K school. Nope, we decided to pivot. We're going to homeschool her. I'm doing a 2-week camping trip, get away from there. And we've bought materials and stuff to homeschool. All right. So that's the younger kids. The high schooler kids, so in Houston at least, they're delaying the start of school. Some places are talking about school on campus a couple times a week, and then remote learning. There's going to be all sorts of stuff. So there's going to be transmission. Okay. And let me talk about the college age kids. So a lot of campuses are trying. Notre Dame, for example, has announced that they're going to do kind of this wide testing, and you got to think about dorms. They're trying to do different areas, no congregation areas, cafeterias, things like that. But here's a problem with college age kids. Guess what? They love to do. They love dad during Thanksgiving and breaks and Christmases, but they've been at college doing kid stuff, man. So you never know. Which reminds me, if you didn't see my video yesterday's video about what herd immunity and why people need to stop having these stupid coronavirus parties, because we're not sure we can even achieve herd immunity. And these college kids, you know how they are. They're going to get together. They're not going to do what things they need to do. They're not going to wear masks. They're not going to socially distance, and then they're going to take it home during the holidays to grandma and grandpa. And so you're going to see a flare up there. That's one of my concerns. Now, I hope I'm wrong, but I think that'll be a problem. You comment if you agree or you understand about what I'm saying about college students, right? Next number about why this is going to, the fall is going to be worse, okay? In July, 30% of people in July did not pay their rent. 30% of people in July did not pay their rent. And any sort of federal government protection where you couldn't be evicted if you didn't pay your rent ends this weekend, ended today, right? So courts are opening up. They're doing online courts, virtual courts. So what you're going to see is mass evictions of people. So what's going to happen this next week? You're going to see a lot of mass evictions. So what does that mean? What's going to happen? That means you're going to see people moving back home. They might move in with their kids, or the kids might move back with their parents. So now you're talking 2, 3, 4 generations under one roof. And then maybe that younger generation is going off to college and they're coming back. And great grandma and mom and kid, and maybe even grandbaby are all living under one roof. That's the setup for spread. That's the concern, is that the younger, possibly asymptomatic kids, or before they start having symptoms, they pass it on to mom and grandparents. Okay. So the economy, the rental mortgage side of it, all those protections are going away now, like today. So we're going to see that here the next month or two. Okay, you're going to have multiple generations living under one roof, which ends up spreading the coronavirus. Does that make sense? If this is helpful, please hit share. I mean, I'd appreciate that. If these are things you hadn't heard about or thought about, please hit share. Next number. There's more, but wait, there's more. And this is probably the thing that matters. Well, number 7, 8. What number am I? 8 reasons. Okay. Now I don't want to hear about conspiracy. We don't care about your politics. I don't care how you vote, red or blue. It doesn't matter to me. I promise you, I am not emotionally attached to any political ideology, but it is an election year. So there's going to be a lot of anger, frustration, protests, things like that. That will lead to the spread of coronavirus. You know, our current president finally got smart, canceled his Florida rally, and has gone, I think, virtual. You know, we already saw what happened when he held other rallies. They had spikes in the number of cases. So he canceled his convention. But it's election year, and there's a lot of emotion that goes with election years, which takes me to number 9. Reason why this coronavirus is going to get worse in the fall. The protesters. It ain't going away. Who remembers, like, what was that sit-in a few years ago about Wall Street? The Wall Street sit-in? How long did that last for? 5-6 weeks? And then it was done? Take over Wall Street or whatever it was? And then it was done. Never heard about it again. That was like in 2016 or something. But look at the protesting since George Floyd. It's still going. Portland, all of these cities that are still having protests. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying protesters, not all of them mask up. A lot of them luckily do. And you don't believe what some do not put a link about, like, one article says protesting does not lead to coronavirus spread. Another article says protesting does lead to coronavirus spread. It doesn't matter. I'm just telling you, you've seen the pictures. A lot of people wear masks. A lot of people don't. A lot of people take off their mask when they're yelling into the megaphone. They're singing. We know all of that, leads to droplet dispersal. So protesting. And then the last one I'll tell you, number 10. This is probably the most important one. Americans no longer give a fuck. I mean, they're frustrated. This is the worst one. We are so divided. There's so many conspiracy theories. There's so many people who thinks it's hype. I mean, how can this be hype? 4.1 million cases in America alone, 145,000 deaths. It was just a couple of days ago we passed 140,000 deaths, and now we're at 145,000. Why? Dr. Vaughn, the death count's going down. How do you explain that? No, it's not. There's a lag time. It's about to go up. The other day I did a video and I said we have 1,000 deaths today. We are up to 1,100 deaths and 1,200 deaths now. Just look, right? So we are so divided as a country and as a global community, right? This is horrible. And listen, I understand it's frustrating. We want to get back to new normalcy, but to do that, we're going to have to come together. We're going to have to put our differences apart. It's called adulting. #adulting. It's hard. I get it, but the virus doesn't tire. It's the Terminator, man. It doesn't care about your politics or your emotions or how down you are, how frustrated you are. It's not frustrated with you. Coronavirus is not frustrated with you. Coronavirus is not tired of you. It won't stop. The only way we get to stop is if we do our part. We socially distance. We wear the mask. We have our close circle, right? You can say whatever you want about Fauci not wearing a mask at the baseball game. My guess is those were people, probably one was his wife and one was a close friend. You guys all have circles of friends where you don't wear masks. I don't wear a mask around Erica or around our baby. So Dr. Fauci's allowed to have the same thing. Well, I don't understand why people have such a big deal over that. Okay, and I don't want to make excuses for him. I'm sure he'll respond. But my point is this: we need to come together. because this will not go away until we understand that this is what we need to do. Okay, those are my 10 reasons for why this coronavirus is going to get worse. Yeah, before it gets better, worse in the fall. The main ones: we have a higher than expected normal hurricane season, a higher than we have a La Nina event, which is going to lead to forest fires, evacuations, things like that. We got school, return to school, college. Kids are going to be traveling back and forth from college back home. We have the financial crisis, which are going to lead to major evictions and mortgage foreclosures, which now you're going to have multiple generations living under one roof, which will lead to coronavirus. Remember when we shut down in April and grandma did not get to see grandbaby because we were socially distancing? Well, what happens when grandma gets evicted because she didn't pay rent? Or when the daughter and the husband get evicted because he's out of work, they're both out of work, they have to move back with grandma. So in March and April, we were socially distanced, we were isolating, but now because of the finances, they'll be under the same roof. And protesting is not ending. And lastly, we're just frustrated. As a nation, we're divided. As a global community, well, we are very perplexed. And my hopes are to you to not be perplexed, to stay very calm. Okay, that's it. And I'll come back with another update on schools and vaccines and all that sort of stuff. So if you like this community, give me a heart. Did you like the explanation? Were you surprised? Give me a 1 or something like that to know if these made sense to you. And if you shared, let me know. And I'll take your questions now. Thank you guys. Stay safe. Okay. All right. Thank you, Maria. Appreciate that. Oh, wow. Thank you guys for all the hearts. This is great. Jennifer, Alejandra, thank you. Dan's watching. Heather's. Oops, sorry, Dan. You scrolled too fast, Dan. I'm trying to say thank you. Thank you, Pam. Sergio. Bonnie Evans. Thank you for the hearts. Made y'all think, Katie. Thank you. There you are, Dan. Gotcha. Mary Frances. Love it. Thank you. Venuslin Sakura. Very good. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Robert Simpson. What's up? Thank you for the hearts, everybody. Appreciate that. Raquel. Scruffy Scrubs, thank you. Francine, oh, I saw you, Francine. Where'd you go? All right, that's all right. Rosemary, you're on point. Okay, let's take some questions. Do you think takeout is really safe? I think so. You know, I think it's a good option. You know, Dorada Lemmings. Should school reopen? I'll do another one about school. I touched on it today. I think if you're in a hot spot, they should not. But sometimes you got to do what you can. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. People understand how easy it is. Very easy. Wink, wink. It is much more contagious than regular flu. Wink, wink. Mary Frances, my mom's name. Thank you. Florence Brown, thank you. Oh, Comdo, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Appreciate you, Michael. George, glad you're getting your viewers back. You're honest, informative. Thank you so much. There were 1,400 people watching today on all platforms. Are masks even effective? They are. And there was a very good study that looked at this, and because we know that the coronavirus spreads through droplets, and actually a t-shirt works really well. So actually just doing that is better than nothing. So even if you just walked around and did that, yeah, you'll be good. Thank you for your awesome insight. Should my first grader and fourth grader go full virtual? Depends on if you're in a hot zone. I'm in Houston, and so with the hot zone, we're going virtual too. Jazzy, thank you. You're appreciated too, Denise. Thank you so much. Share Snow, should we get the flu vaccine, and if so, when? If you're a high risk person, I recommend it. Full disclosure, I do not take the flu vaccine. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, so don't even start with that. I mean, I believe in the polio vaccine. I believe in chicken pox, measles, all that sort of stuff. But those vaccines are targeted towards one specific virus. The influenza shot is a cocktail of strains that statisticians and epidemiologists get together every year and try to predict which strains will be most prevalent. And sometimes they're right, and sometimes they're wrong. Just remember this, that for vaccines to be used, they only have to have a 50% efficacy, 50%, and that means a coin toss. So for me, nope, I found myself getting more and worse flus when I took the flu vaccine. So no, I don't take the regular season. If you're high risk, you're older, your doctor recommends it, then go ahead. Kathy, am I safe outside with a friend, social distance with no mask? That's a good question. The best is if you did both. So it's mask plus social 6 foot, mask plus social 6 foot, because you never know, because you can sneeze. And you can sneeze for 7, 8 feet. You know, your droplets can go out pretty far. So even if you're socially distanced without a mask, they could accidentally sneeze. Something could happen, and you could catch it. So that's what I would say. Yeah, 50% efficacy for vaccines, and that's actually the target for the coronavirus vaccine too. So think about that. That's pretty crazy. Are these good questions? Yeah, Diana, if COVID droplets, why are so many people getting it? It's highly contagious, highly contagious. So cotton mask will suffice. Doesn't have to be an N95. And in fact, no one needs to get an N95 unless you're in the healthcare field. And just remember, N95 masks are fitted to your face. And when I got fitted for my N95 mask, I had to do a test where they spray, and you have to see if you can taste the sweetener, right? So it's got to block that. Is it safe to fly, or should we drive? You know, I haven't been on a plane. I have friends who've been on planes. They say it's different. You have to wear your mask. There was an expert talking about, you know, the ventilation goes from the top down, so it doesn't really go back and forth. We'll see. We'll see. And there's supposed to be a seat. The middle seat supposed to be empty, but some airlines are going back on that. I don't know. It was this created in the lab. Wink, wink. I'm not gonna say, but wink, wink. All right. Elizabeth, if this is endemic, then how will coronavirus end? It's kind of, this is endemic is a term I taught you guys yesterday. So a lot of people knew what epidemic was. And then we were introduced to the word pandemic, and people didn't know what that was. And now the new word I'm teaching everybody is endemic. Epidemic, pandemic, and now endemic. Endemic means it's here to stay. So we'll eventually come to some balance with it. Just like we'll have a treatment, we'll have a vaccine. Eventually, we're talking a couple years down the road, okay? Seriously, 2022. And a few number of people will get it every year. We'll have some treatments. Just like, for example, influenza, we have Tamiflu, you know, which is an actual treatment. We have a flu vaccine, but for coronavirus, we don't, right? You know, this is a good question, Nora, about HEPA filters. I think that for it to really catch coronavirus, I think there's a special type of HEPA filter that you have to get. It's not something that you can just go, it's like this medical grade quality. Is it safe to return to dentist offices again? Man, that's up to you and your dentist. They're operating in this area. They're up close. It's easy to spread. So they are really using a lot of PPE, and you have to ask them for that. I'm not going to sell you on anything. I'm actually working with a company that is has the rights to a rapid test, which has been proven to be very effective. A rapid test, which is a pinprick. So no more nose swab. It's just a little pinprick on your finger. Like, you know, when you check yourself for like diabetes, your blood sugars, it's just a pinprick, and you test, and it'll tell you whether or not you have the coronavirus actively or have had it within the last 8 to 10 weeks. So, and it gives you results in 15 minutes. So I'm working with a company that does rapid testing in 15 minutes. Hey, just do me a favor real quick. I'm kind of curious. Put a 1 in the comment section if you would be interested in that. A rapid test, coronavirus test that would give you results in 15 minutes. No lines, no waiting in your cars, no going to the doctor's office. Put a 1 in the comment section if that'd be something you'd be interested in. Obviously, it's not free, but hey, listen, this is a good point. J.G. Graham, I can touch my nose all I want. It doesn't matter. I have allergies. I've washed my hands. I did my face and brushed my teeth for y'all right before it came on. So my hands are clean. I'm inside my house. You can touch your nose all you want. The fact that you are saying that means you don't completely understand what's happening here with coronavirus. So yep, Barbara, there's going to be a new normal. Wow, look at all these ones popping up. Look at that. Danny, Elizabeth, Laura, Summers, Frank, perfect, huh? Monica, Rosalinda, Terry, rapid test. Yep. Let me see. I had one. I went to hospital by ambulance last week with heart failure. Oh no, Crystal, stay safe. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. My gosh. Okay. When will the stock market go up, duck? New. Catherine Furlong, look at all that. I read today that UT Health Center researchers found that virus creates an enzyme that hides it from the immune system, delays immune response. Oh, who knows? We'll see. So much is being learned. Lisa Jones, so if a patient goes to Mexico and comes back and is tested negative, would a quarantine period still be warranted? Yeah, because Lisa, this is a great question. We are, it looks like it takes on average 3 to 5 days to turn positive. So that's pretty crazy, huh? I would love to have that rapid test be attainable for all. How long till rapid test is available? It's available now. And I'll talk to the company about getting it out. Bright Star, sorry to repeat this. Why are other countries doing better than we are? It's very puzzling. It's because they shut down. Where have you been, Bright Star? They locked down. They wore masks. They social distanced. They stayed home. They didn't reopen. We reopened before fucking Italy did. What's wrong with that's crazy? And they were 2 weeks ahead of us, and I knew it was the wrong thing to do. So lots of ones. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Okay, how has China got it under control? Same answer, man. You remember, it's a communist society. They can tell people what to do. And in fact, what they actually did, if you really want to know, Lisa, is they closed down the entire province, right? And you're talking about a city of, I want to say it's 5, 6, 7 million people. Wuhan is like 7 or 8 million people. And they literally shut down that entire area. They put tape. I heard this from my Chinese friends. They put tape across your door, and the state police, the police would come by every day. And if your tape was broken, the door was broken, the tape across your door was broken, they took you to jail. They didn't fine you. They didn't do anything. They took you to jail. That's how they did it. Okay. Some other areas are doing full home confinement, and they'll deliver you food and supplies, essential food and supplies to keep you alive. How much is that rapid test? We're not completely sure yet. It's going to be probably in the $100 range. Okay. Yep, martial law, exactly. Lily Tang, face mask versus face shield. If you're in a hot area, definitely both. You want to cover your face here, and then the face shield to protect the eyes. If you are in a healthcare environment and you're a healthcare provider, I recommend you do both, face shield as well as the mask. Okay. If you're not in a hot area, then just the mask and social distance alone will be good. Okay. T cell. Yeah, T cells pretty cool too. That's the killer cells. That's actually what HIV attacks is the killer T cells, and that's the cell that goes and kills cells that have been infected. Yeah. Is someone who just had surgery more at risk? Rachel Farley, thank you for the question. Absolutely. We know that surgery is stressful on your body, which lowers your immune system. If you're talking about weight loss surgery, since I'm a bariatric surgeon, then we know that bariatric surgery makes you catabolic. Catabolic means your proteins and everything is breaking down. It's a hormonal surgery, but it puts you into a catabolic state, which makes you much more susceptible to infections. So how often can you get the virus? We're not sure. This is the same question or similar question to someone who said, can we catch it again? There are some anecdotal stories, and we will see. We will see. We're not exactly sure. Dolly, I would buy rapid test. Will it be a home unit? That's what I'm going to talk to them about. Currently, it should be administered by a healthcare provider, but I think there's probably a workaround about that. So, yep, that's how they did it, man. So for the people who are into conspiracy theories, are like, why did China do it and we can't? That's why. Are there instances of individuals tested positive for COVID and other ILIs simultaneously? I don't. You'd have to tell me what you mean by ILIs. I'm not sure what that TLA is. Someone with autoimmune disease more prone. Yeah, I think so. And mostly because a lot of the medications, April, that people take for autoimmune disease, such as lupus, actually suppresses your immune system. And that's actually how it helps, like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, things like that, juvenile arthritis. Those are autoimmune diseases where your body kind of attacks itself. And so the medications that people take for those, actually, like Humira, for example, would suppresses your immune system. That's why you have to stop Humira before surgery and things like that. So absolutely. How do hot environments make transmission differ? Apparently it hasn't. We thought it would kill it, and it hasn't. So totally. Let me see. Mutant. Yep. Type 2 diabetes for sure puts you at risk. Yep. If you have obesity, remember your risk factors real quickly, and then I'll call it an end here. Risk factors, your major risk factor is obesity, and that's only BMI over 30. Age over 60, although now the average age in America is 41. The average age contracting coronavirus is 41. And that's from the young kids who were doing those COVID parties, went to the beach, not social distancing, and that dropped the number down. But age over 60, obesity, diabetes is a major risk factor, hypertension is a major risk factor, and pulmonary disease is a major risk factor because this is a respiratory illness. Those are your 5. If you have 3 of those 5, you're at very, very high risk factor. I'll say those again. Obesity, BMI over 30, only 30, age over 60, but we know that's dropping. Hypertension, diabetes, and pulmonary disease. And pulmonary could be anything. It could be COPD. It could be poorly controlled asthma. It could be sleep apnea, since, bariatric surgery, sleep apnea. If you have 3 of those 5, you're considered really, really high risk. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'll be back on again tomorrow, Sunday, with another one. I'll probably do kids in school, since I did a poll and that was the winning vote. So kids in school will be on topic for tomorrow. If you found value in this, I would appreciate it if you shared it, or if you are watching me on Facebook, if you would like and follow my fan page, that would be appreciated. I'm going to spend the rest of the day and I will edit down these videos that I've done, and I'll put them up on my YouTube channel too, because a lot of y'all are watching on YouTube, and you can watch it there. Okay. In the meantime, please be kind to each other, and please take this seriously. If you like this approach, then invite other people to come for these daily updates. This is the kinder coronavirus update. No politics, no bitching, no conspiracy theories, wink, wink, no no division, no red states, no blue states. We are just talking purely coronavirus and how we stay healthy. Because in order for us to defeat this, we are going to have to come together as a global community. Okay, guys, love you very much. Be safe, be kind. Thank you.